Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is Nolan, or the Optimistic Gamer here, and welcome back to the Optimistic Survival Series. In the last episode, we successfully defeated a raid and got Hero of the Village. We went to the village and made some trades, but we are actually going to start the episode in the village once again today, because we need some glass. We are also going to need a name tag, so I will trade for that as well. And we will still need a little bit more glass. We do need a lot of it for this project today, but I just wanted to get that out of the way while we still had our hero of the village between the glass buying a name tag. Not that we get a discount for the glass. I just figured we might as well use it to our advantage. But what do we need all this glass for? What do we need the name tag for? Well, today, as I mentioned in the last episode, we are going back to the end. I think this is our first time traveling back to the end. Perhaps the second, but I think it's the first time traveling back after our defeat of the dragon. We are going to finally build an Enderman XP farm, something that has been long overdue, very necessary, and something that will help us progress deep into the late stages of the game. So for this, I'm actually going for a very specific color palette. So there are quite a few blocks aside from the glass that we still need to gather, so I think we will get a shulker box going, and we will just leave it at this sort of purpley lavender color as it fits the theme of this Enderman farm quite well. So we will put the glass in there, we will put the name tag in there. We are going to need 21 stacks of deepslate tiles, which will require me to do a little bit of branch mining, so I will grab what we have for now, and I will turn these into tiles. We will add those to the shulker box. We also need ink sacs and purple dye, so we are going to need some red and red and blue flowers. Of course, we can always use lapis, and I don't think we have a shortage of red flowers, so we should be good in that department. Let me go grab some lapis from our house. So we will need 2 stacks of purple glass and 3 stacks of black glass for this palette. So I will make the purple glass real quick. Excellent. And I realized I made way more purple dye than we actually need, but that's okay. We can always use that in a future build. I will throw that in here for now, and look at that, we even already had some. And then black glass is the other one. It looks like we have 7 ink sacs. I will need a few more, so let's head over to the ocean and see if we can kill some squid. Down here at our boathouse, it doesn't look like we have any squid that have spawned in that little bay right here, so we will look a little farther into the ocean. I'm still not seeing any. Of course, it's heavily forested with all of this kelp and seagrass, so it may take a little bit for us to find some squid. Alright, I didn't find any at the ocean, but over here in the river, our luck is much better. So let me kill the squid real quick, get some ink sacs, turn that into black dye, and we should be good to go there. 37 ink sacs should be more than enough for us, so we will take that back. And like I said, we need a little bit more glass, so we will quickly grab that from the villagers here as soon as they restock. There we go. Oh, maybe not. Here we go, this one over here has restocked for us, and this one is good to go as well. We only need a half stack now to get all of the required glass. Let's fly back, stain this black, and then we will move on to the next resource that we need a significant amount of. There we go, 3 stacks of the black stained glass, 2 stacks of purple, and all of the build materials are coming along nicely. So aside from the deepslate tiles, the other final material that I will need in bulk will be purple blocks and purple pillars. If you can't already tell, I'm definitely sticking with the end vibe with this, with the purples and the blacks, the dark grays. So we need We need about 12 stacks of purple blocks for this between the blocks and the pillars, which means we need about 48 stacks of popped coarse fruit or just normal coarse fruit. It shouldn't take us too long to get that from the end, but I don't think we have anywhere close to the necessary amount of that, just 9 of it in there. Of course, we could always grow it, but why wait for that to grow when we have the outer end islands where it is already densely covered with the chorus fruit. So we will head through to the end and make our way out to the outer end islands. We're just going to fly through the gateway, keep it simple for now. If I can get my aim figured out here. There we go. Ah yes, I remember this quite well, unfortunately. But we are not here to search for end cities. See, I almost did it again with the ancient city. End cities, we're not searching for those on foot today. We are just here for the chorus fruit. Again, about 48 stacks of this. I did bring some empty shulker boxes that we can store that away in so we can carry back all that we need. Alright, I have collected all of the the chorus fruit that we will need. I filled up one shulker box right here, plus all of this right over there. So we will get this put into our super smelter right away so this can get started and we can turn this into purple blocks, and then we will head down to the branch mine to get the rest of the deep slate that we are going to need for this project. So we will load up the minecart chest. Let me grab this coarse fruit as well. And we will just flick that on and that should go back and forth and we should start to see all of that fill up. It should go fairly quickly with the 8 furnaces that we have. I do want to make sure that we have enough fuel though, so I'm going to go through once more with the lava that we do have in these cauldrons right here, and we've already got 32 of it. That is fantastic. We can turn those into blocks right away, and we will just slowly wait for all of that to turn into popped coarse fruit. In the meantime, like I said, we will head down to the branch mine and get the rest of the deep slate that we will need, and then we should be good to head to the end and start building the Enderman farm. Also, I don't think I have given an update on this staircase. I have made it all the way down to that large open cave area that we have right down here. That is where I am at with the staircase so far. As you can see, I got all of these stone stairs put in so it's nice and quick for us to sprint back up. But this part right here, I am still working on this a little bit more, as you can tell. Alright, I had to run up and grab some more torches, but we are good now. I am just going to get started on the branches here. Probably spend about an hour doing this. I think we need 16 more stacks of the deep slate here, the cobbled deep slate, and that should be enough. I'm sure I will find many diamonds along the way, so I will meet you back once I have all of that. We will also go over any treasure that I have found. Alright, see you guys in a bit. Well, it actually went a lot faster than I thought it would be. That took maybe about 30 minutes or so. I did 10 strips of mining here, 10 rows if you will, and again, roughly 30 minutes we got all of the deep slate that we need. We also found 37 diamonds, a handful of redstone, some gold, iron lapis, all of that good stuff as well. The redstone will be useful for us. As you know, we have been running a little bit low on that as of recent, so that will definitely boost our supply there, and we will need a little bit of it for the Enderman XP farm. Not a whole lot, but we will need some. So I'm going to make my way back up. We will check on the popped coarse fruit, and we will gather the rest of the resources we will need to build this farm. And I just loaded the rest of our coarse fruit into the minecart chest, so that will empty out. The furnaces are still somewhat full, but we are getting very close now. And in here we have quite a bit of popped coarse fruit. It is rolling in like crazy, so we will turn all of that into blocks here. And I actually did not realize that it was 1 for 1. I thought it was 4 for a block. So we are actually going to have a lot more than we originally needed, which is fantastic because I can use this. Is this a thunderstorm by chance? It doesn't look like it. I can use the coarse fruit in a future build, or the purple blocks, I should say. So we will need, I think it is 3 stacks of pillars. So let me make these. We will get those put into this chest right here, and about 10 stacks of the blocks. Perfect. The rest of these blocks we can store away in the end items chest for now. I will make a chest for purple blocks in the future. So now we just need to gather a few more items just for the mechanical side of this. One of those is a minecart. We are going to trap a endermite in the minecart. That is what the Enderman will pathfind to, try to attack it, and then they will fall into the pit. This is a somewhat common design. I did actually design this myself. It is honestly the first mob farm that I have designed, so hopefully it works out pretty well. I did test it I built it in creative and then tested it in survival. I think it is going to work pretty well, so hopefully that stays the case. We are also going to need purple carpet and black carpet. So we will need 10 purple and 3 black, if I'm not, actually 2 black carpet, I believe, if I am not mistaken here. We are also going to need a bucket of lava and a bucket of water so that we can easily create a source of blocks all the way down to the bottom level of the void. You know, you should be able to right-click the rain with a bucket and harvest water that way. I think that would be a kind of cool mechanic. But from our pond, a bucket of water, I grabbed the bucket of lava out of the smeltery. We will get that put in there. The carpet put in here as well. And then we need to make a mechanism for getting rid of the ender pearls because they pile up very quickly and we already have more than enough. Of course, I will grab some of those while I'm thinking about it. We will need that for spawning the endermite. But we will need a couple observers and we will also need a dropper. So for that, I believe it is cobblestone, a piece of redstone, and there we go, there's the dropper. We are also going to need a sticky piston and some normal pistons. The sticky piston will be to turn on and off the drop mechanism in case we do decide that we want to collect some ender pearls, and the normal piston is going to be for pushing the observer into place, since we won't really be able to face up and place that when we are at the bottom of the void. I don't have either of those though. I do have slime though, fortunately, so we will grab that. And I'm just going to make a handful of pistons so that we can have those for the future as well. So we will make 1 sticky piston, 1 normal piston. I'll make a handful of levers. We will throw all of those items into the shulker box here, and I think we just about have all of the resources. We will need trapdoors though, 8 of them. And with all of these resources, the trapdoors in there, we are good to head to the end. I will meet you there and we will get started on this farm. And I luckily did remember to grab leaves right at the last minute. We are going to need those to bridge out to the spawning area. So we will pour out our lava right here, wait for that to flow all the way to the bottom of the void, and then pour our water next to it. That will give us the tower all the way down to the bottom that we can work our way out from. And I'm not at the moment planning on doing a tutorial for this build, but if you guys would like to see one, I'd be more than happy to do that. You can find plenty of tutorials of this concept of the farm on YouTube. There's all kinds of different tutorials for an Enderman XP farm, but if you do want this specific build the way I have designed it, I would be more than happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments. So this lava should be getting close now, It looks like it might be finished. I think we are pretty close to the bottom here, so we will pour the water now. And I probably shouldn't scoop that up. We will need that to get down. All of the lava will turn to cobblestone, and we can grab our leaves. We can also grab the rest of these items. Working in the void, we want to make sure we have our firework rockets handy. Our elytra is on us, and we should be good to travel down and get some leaves placed here at the bottom. I'm just going to carefully flow all the way down so that we don't have any hiccups along the way. And there we go, the leaf block is placed. I'm not too concerned about drowning right now. I just want to make sure we stay safe on these leaves as we work our way out about 150-ish blocks away from the island. So I will do that real quick, and then we will get started on the actual farm. Alright, I think I went about 170 blocks just to be safe, so we will make a little platform where we can place our shulker boxes. And for the start of the farm, the base, that will be done with our glass and the carpet here. We will also need the hoppers. I forgot the hoppers, of course. I will be right back. Okay, 16 hoppers later. I don't think we're going to use all 16, but I just figured since I forgot them, I might as well bring extras just in case. So we are going to start with glass around the base. That is going to be our standing platform where we can swipe at the Enderman, and then the hoppers will go underneath to collect all of the ender pearls. So let me get that base laid out real quick. So that's how this base looks, and then we will have the dropper right over here at the end, and we will have that facing out. I just want to make sure I place this perfectly the first time. There we go. And then the hoppers will feed into this dropper on all sides here. And then we will cover up the hoppers with the carpet. There we go. I have one carpet to spare. And now the somewhat tricky part, we have to get an observer on top of this dropper here so that the redstone output is facing down like that. So we've got to flip it upside down. So I think what I'm going to do is place an observer like this. That should be pointing down now. There we go. And then with a couple moves of the piston, we should be able to push that into place. So I will put that piston right there. We should be able to activate that, and that will push the observer down, and then we just have to push it over and over once more. And there we go. And then one more time in this direction, and that will be on top of the dropper there. And then when we place an observer on top of the dropper, it will activate that clock and continue to run. We will have the sticky piston so that we can turn that on and off. Of course, I'm not going to turn it on now because if there are any items that accidentally get tossed onto these hoppers, I don't want to lose them forever, so we are going to keep that turned off for the time being. Also, alternatively, if we wanted to collect ender pearls in a different method, we could place a chest here next to the dropper and collect ender pearls that way. But of course that is a ways down the road. So this is the standing platform. So now I'm going to work on the 2-block tall ceiling above it so that the Endermen don't teleport out and try to attack us. That will also be done with the glass that I have, and it will be done in an opposite pattern to what I have here. So it will be black on the very edge, and then purple, black, purple all the way to the middle. And with the ceiling in place, we can start working our way up to the spawn platform. This is where the purple blocks come into play. This is where the pillars come into play. And we are finished. Actually, we can go ahead and do the sticky piston real quick and this observer as well. So we will place that facing down just like this, I think. Nope, we need to place that facing up. So I will put a piston right there. We will place that so it is facing up, and we will just quickly destroy this piston. A sticky piston can go right here. We will put a lever. Maybe I'll do this on the other side. There we go. That'll be a little easier for us to access this sticky piston. So with the lever on there, I'm just going to make sure that we don't have anything in the dropper right now, and we should be good to turn that on. We can hear the dropper firing. That will spit out any ender pearls that get put in. And then we can just turn it off when we are finished. So the collection mechanism is all complete. Let me clean up my inventory a little bit here, and we can move on to the tower where the Enderman will fall to just half a heart. This starts with purple pillars on the corners down here, and I know there are many ways I could do this to conserve blocks, but at the same time I really want a nice aesthetic feel, so I am sacrificing the usage of blocks for the look here. So we will have pillars that extend all the way to the top, and then we will have these sections of purple blocks here in the middle, in between them, black stained glass in those on all four sides. I think we have around 8 of these sections that go all the way to the top. So I'm going to do this tower real quick and meet you guys back here once I have finished. So I have finished the drop tower where the Enderman will pathfind to the endermite in the middle and fall down to, once again, half a heart, where one swipe of the sword will kill them. So now it's time to build the spawn platform itself. I'll get a little closer to this so you can see the detail that I have used in it. So I did the sideways purple pillars in between the sections of glass and the purple blocks for all of those sections right there. That goes up. It's 42 blocks of a drop. So now we will head up to the top where I do have a torch. I don't want Endermen to start spawning until we have the endermite in place. So I will be placing a lot of torches as we go. This is actually going to be a circle. It's not going to be a square. And the main reason for this is really just aesthetics. There's not really I don't think it's going to help the spawn rates at all, either hurt them or help them in either way. So I'm just doing this for the aesthetic once again. Same thing with the tower. There's no point in having it be solid, but for the aesthetic, I kind of like it. So this is going to be deep slate tiles with hints of purple sprinkled throughout. This is going to take me quite a bit of time, so I will meet everyone back here once I have finished that, and at that point, the farm should just about be finished. Alright, welcome back. I have finished up the spawn platform, of course with the torches to prevent any endermen from spawning right now. We just don't need them to get in the way as we work on the rest of the build. All that we have left now is the endermite and the trapdoors, which we can go ahead and place those real quick. We will just put these here on the sides and close those so the endermen will think that they can walk up to that endermite, which will just be a couple blocks above this platform. In the middle, they will all come swarming in, fall all the way down there, take a lot of damage, and again, one swipe of the sword and we will get plenty of XP from that. But again, now it's time to work on that endermite, and I'm realizing that I forgot rails. Now, I am just forgetting everything today. I did name the name tag though, XP Pro. That is going to be the name of our endermite. I thought that was fitting for that. So let me fly back real quick, grab the rails, we will get the endermite in place, and this farm should be up and running. And here's how the spawn platform looks from a distance, sort of like a target, again with that purple kind of outlining the circle, about every 5 or 6 blocks. It's 5 here in the middle and then 6 on these outer 2 bands. Alright, it is time to do the endermite spawning, so we will just need to place some blocks up here. So we want the endermite to be on top of this block right here, which means we will want a rail to push the endermite into... I'm just trying to think about this in my head here. And we don't want the endermite to escape. Alright, so there we go. We want the endermite to be on top of that block. So I think if we have a rail right here, and we can get him... Actually, let's do the rail right there, the minecart on top of there. Oops. This is gonna work, I promise. Whether it takes us 1 or 100 attempts, we will get this. So the endermite, we will spawn him right in there. I'm actually going to put one more block here. I genuinely have no idea how this is gonna go. I know there's a really easy way to do this, and I know that this is not it, but it should hopefully work out with us. So now we just throw our ender pearls a few times, hopefully get lucky with it, and trap the endermite. I'm gonna place the minecart after the endermite spawns. That might be a little bit easier. And I just want to make sure I have enough food. The name tag is ready, and armor. I need to make sure I don't have thorns on any of that because we don't want the endermite to attack us and die. So now we are just going to look at that second try. That is really good for us. We are going to get the name tag on him, see if we can get him into the minecart here. And there we go. And I would call that a success. Second try with the ender pearl. Not bad at all. So now we just tear down all of these blocks around here, and these, whatever falls down there, should just be collected into all of those hoppers and be put in that dropper. So with all of these blocks in place now, I think the endermite... I'm trying to think if we need to drop him by 1 block here. I believe we do, but we will just see how this works out. We don't want the enderman to actually be able to damage the endermite because that would not be good for us. So I think we will test it with this, see how it goes. So now we can wreck all of the torches, and we are going to see endermen start to spawn right away and pathfind right to this endermite. And because of the trapdoors, again, the endermen will think there is a solid block there. They will try to run across, fall down into that hole. We still haven't had one spawn yet, though. I think we're still a little too close, and there we go. Is it working? It sure is. We already have 2 of them down at the bottom, and they should still be alive. Hopefully I didn't make the drop too far. Of course, we can always adjust that if we need to. And now we have a ton of endermen spawning. They are all pathfinding to that endermite. I think that is the perfect height for that, just outside of those hitboxes. Let me get these last few torches. We will head down and reap all of our XP. So now when we head down here, we will find that there are a couple on the outside just because it's not fully covered in a 2-block height, but that's okay. All the endermen are here now. We can take our sword. Actually, let me go ahead and grab all of the purple blocks out of there, and with our sword, just like that, we can heal up our sword, heal up all of our tools, and we are in business with our XP farm. So let me get a few levels to mend everything up, and then we will test out this little drop feature right over here. And because we do have looting 3 on our sword, I do need to get a dedicated sword for down here with sweeping edge and mending. But because we have looting 3, we already have tons of ender pearls and they are already piling up on top of the hoppers. So I think now is a great time to go ahead and test out this dispenser mechanism. I guess it's a dropper, but we will power that piston and there go the ender pearls right down into the void. I'm still collecting all of the XP that I have obtained from all of these endermen, but all of our tools are fully mended up now. And in case you are curious, I did test this out. It takes exactly, well, I wouldn't say exactly, but roughly 75 seconds to get from level 0 to level 30. That's simply because I just can't gain XP faster than that. I think that is just the standard time regardless of how much XP is on the ground. I'm not sure how much XP I would have gained if I just stopped killing them in a minute. I suppose I could test that out, but again, about a minute to get from level 0 to level 30. I do want to bring an enchantment table down here, a few anvils, and have a setup down here, but that will be a little later on. For now, we have a finished XP farm. I am very happy with how this has turned out. And again, if you would like a tutorial of this, definitely let me know in the comments. I would be more than happy to do that. But that is where we are going to end today's episode of the Optimistic Survival series. I really hope you enjoyed it. It's a nice change, building a farm, building it in the end. And if you did enjoy it, definitely hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you are also subscribed so you don't miss out on daily content as soon as I publish it. Check the description for some more important information, links, how to contact me, all of that good stuff. And with all of that being said, comment, like, subscribe, remember to stay optimistic, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye!